Hey YouTube, it's AC, and today we're going to be unboxing and setting up the all-new iRobot Roomba 980. Alright, so before we begin, if you want to partake in my latest giveaway, which is a 4th gen Apple TV, just be sure to rate this video up and stick around to the end for complete instructions. And for those of you who don't know, iRobot makes the best robotic vacuums in the industry. These things are absolutely awesome. I've been using a Roomba 770 since 2013. Here it is. It's definitely time for an upgrade. You can see this guy definitely has some wear and tear, and hopefully that shouldn't be an issue with the new one thanks to its brand new cleaning system. So let's go ahead and take a look at the box itself. On the front, we just have a picture of the robot. It says iRobot Roomba 980 down below there in the bottom right and in the bottom left. So the opposite corner, we do have this little indicator that suggests it does have an application, which is really one of the key selling points. I've been using a test unit for a while now, and it's absolutely amazing. And flipping it over to the right-hand side, we do have 3 pictures that kind of represent some of the core functionality of this robot. So we have ledge detection, like what we've seen in previous Roomba models. It also maps its environment, and it can fit in tight places and even follow edges. But that's not even the half of it. The Roomba 980 is cram-packed with awesome functionality. So let's go ahead and flip it on over to the back now. You'll notice it says it features iAdapt 2.0 navigation with visual localization. So it helps Roomba seamlessly and effectively navigate an entire level of your home, recharging as needed until the job's done. And the way it's actually able to do this is with iAdapt 2.0. It does have a built-in camera that kind of maps its environment in real time, so it knows where it is in relation to your home. Now, that map is never saved, and it's actually regenerated upon every clean. It also says that it's simple because the iRobot Home app lets you clean and schedule conveniently, anytime, anywhere, or you can just press the clean button on your robot. And finally, clean. The AeroForce cleaning system with carpet boost provides up to 10 times the air power by automatically increasing the performance of the Gen 3 motor on carpet and rugs, where dust and dirt hide. And that 3 times power boost of the motor is when compared to the iRobot 700 series, so like this 770 for instance. And finally, kind of flipping it over to the other side here, it has somewhat of a mission statement. Quote, "We have a passion for helping you get more done every day. Just press clean." Alright, and that's enough of the box. Let's go ahead and lift this top lid to reveal the iRobot Roomba 980 sitting directly on top. Alright, so here it is, guys. This thing looks absolutely amazing, and we have 2 upward facing arrows toward the top that says here to help. So let's go ahead and start by lifting that green flap. And once we do, you'll notice that we have a few different accessories. So over here on the bottom or the far left, we have these virtual walls or barriers that will essentially make it so that the robot won't pass whatever this is set up by. So for instance, if you have a fireplace, you can set it up, turn it on, and you can just turn it on to its regular mode, its virtual wall mode basically, and it will make it so it can't pass that barrier. So it's really great for restricting the robot in certain areas. It also has a secondary mode, so let's go ahead and get a close-up of this switch here on the back. Now the regular virtual wall mode is just at the top. So with the AA batteries in this guy, all you have to do is just flip it all the way up, and that's the mode I was talking about previously, or you can flip it all the way down, and this is kind of a halo mode. So it will create basically a 3-foot barrier in all directions that the robot can't enter. For an example, they give setting it up in that halo mode near a dog or a pet's food dish. And of course, they do include AA batteries for you to get started with those virtual walls. And we have another one over on the far right or toward the top at this perspective. And also in this area, we do have the charging cable, which connects to the base. We're going to get to that in just a second. We have another or a secondary backup brush here. And same thing goes for this guy here. We have another backup air filter. So let's go ahead and put these back toward the top, and we're going to flip the box around again and lift the robot out of the box. And let's go ahead and take the plastic wrap covering the back area as well as the front bumper off. So we have another plastic piece here that we can simply pull like so. to fully remove the plastic that protects it. And you'll notice that we actually have the camera at the top here. Remember, this doesn't map it so that it won't bump into things. Instead, it maps it so it knows where it is in relation to your home. And we're going to take a closer look at the robot in just a second, but we have two more things inside of this box. We have this little packet here at the bottom, and essentially this just has a quick start guide as well as an instruction manual. We can go ahead and put that back. And finally, toward the top there, we have the base. So this is how it's actually going to charge and dock, which it can do automatically, by the way. So let's go ahead and pull that out now. And of course, remember that power cable we saw earlier under that green flapped section? Well, this is actually what it plugs into. All right, so pulling the box off to the side here, we're going to switch views to the 980. So here it is, guys. This thing is absolutely amazing. So it has the front bumper toward the top like we've seen in past models, and this time the carrying handle is actually built into the iRobot Roomba logo here. You'll notice it's very discreet, and we can use it to lift up the robot like so. Of course, we have that camera that I discussed previously, and we just have 3 buttons on the device overall, but chances are good you'll want to actually use it with your smartphone or your tablet. So we just have the regular clean or start button. We also, to the left of that, have the home button, which will actually dock it if it's away from its dock and you want to manually dock it. And then we have the spot clean button on the robot itself. And in the back, we actually have the trash bin. So it's very simple to remove. It almost feels like it latches magnetically. It's so much easier to remove than past models. And as you can see, it also has AeroForce branding. So this guy does have an improved cleaning system as well as a motor that's 3 times more powerful than the previous iRobot I've dealt with, which I loved, by the way. So let's go ahead and pull this out again and take a look just at the dustbin compartment here. So you'll notice that we do have this little flap that we can just open like so, and it actually has some yellow lines as well as arrows suggesting that all we have to do is pull it, and that's how we actually empty it. So all the dust, debris, carpet fibers, hair, and everything will be collected in here. And then we actually have a secondary little yellow tab at the top that all we have to do is just open like so, and this is the filter right here, and we can actually pull it out to clean it. All you have to do is just pull this little yellow tab, and boom, it's out of the dustbin area, and you can just tap it against your trash bin or whatever it may be to actually clean the filter. And of course, we do have a backup one as well. And one thing that I really like about this, let's go ahead and get a close-up, is the side that you actually put toward the dustbin area. So the side that's going to collect all of the dust and debris is actually screened. So that means that less dust will actually enter the other side of this, and your filters will last so much longer that way. And all you have to do to put it back in, you see we have this little notch up here in the top right-hand corner, is just push it in like so, and there we go. It's already inserted properly, and then we can just close the dustbin and put it back in like so. But before we can get started, we actually have to flip it over. So let's go ahead and do that now. And you'll notice that we do have this little tab right here that we actually have to pull before we can start the robot. This just separates it from the battery, so that way it can actually power up. So there we go, it should be able to actually power up now, and we actually have a piece of cardboard right here, so let's go ahead and take the dustbin out again, so that way we can remove this. All right, and just looking at the bottom of this, it's so cool. So we have the brush right here that will just sweep things that are kind of toward the edge of a wall toward these brushes right here, which actually aren't brushes. They're called extractors now, because you'll notice they don't have any bristles whatsoever. They're just kind of a soft plastic. And in order to take these out, all we have to do is just push in on these yellow tabs, and then here they are. It's that simple, and it's that easy to actually take these out if they ever need to be cleaned. And of course, the dirt and debris is pushed through these into the dirt bin out this little area right here. And also another thing too, if you take both of these out and you forget which one goes where, we do have a convenient diagram right there. So you can see that we have the lighter colored one at the top and we have the darker colored one at the bottom. And it also even shows where the little notch goes. So all you have to do is just put the little notch in and then spin it around until you get that seated fit. And same thing with the other one over here. And once you do, then you just have to align the other side, and it's really just as easy as that. And that's how you're actually going to clean it if different debris gets lodged inside of these extractors. Also, of course, we have the wheels that are adjustable automatically based on whichever type of surface it's on. So for instance, if it's on hardwood like we have here, and then it goes over to a carpet, it will automatically raise up based on the surface level with these wheels here. And we have this top one that just pivots in all directions, and that's how it's actually able to turn. Beyond that, we have a plethora of sensors on the bottom, as well as 2 metal contacts on either side of that rotating wheel. That's how it's actually able to receive the charge from the base station. So now that we've gone over pretty much all aspects of the robot itself, what we're going to do is actually connect it to the base, and then we're going to turn it on and use the app to set up the robot in general. All right, so here we are with the 980 as well as the base, and when you do set up that base, they recommend that you have adequate space on all sides, so on both corners here as well as the front area, and that no furniture is obscuring the view, because of course that sensor at the top of the robot does actually have to make contact with that sensor toward the top. I believe it is IR, and you'll notice that we also have that flashing light on the top of the base. It's green. You may be able to pick it up on camera there. It just flashed again. But what we can do for the first time is, instead of pressing on that home button, we can actually just manually set it on the base with those metal contacts aligned with the ones on the base itself. All right, and as you heard there, we did have that connection sound, and we have a continuous green light instead of a blinking one on the base. And we also, on the robot itself, have a red battery life indicator, so this has to charge for a while, but we can actually set it up right now just using the app. Okay, and now bringing my iPhone into view, I do already have the application downloaded. It's just the iRobot home app there, as you can see, so let's go ahead and tap to open it. I do already have a robot connected right now. That's just my test unit. What we can do is tap on Add a Robot there, and this is what you'll see the very first time you do open the application. So you can see it is searching for a new robot. What we're going to do is just tap on Set up a new robot, because this guy actually isn't set up already, and here it just has this brief screen saying, hello, before we begin, let's make sure you have everything ready to go. All right, and because we do, we can go ahead and tap on Next there, and now it's telling us to set up the home base, so we already have the base set up. We can go ahead and tap Next. It's telling us to wake up the robot. I believe it already did that when I set it on the metal contacts there, and we heard that sound, so let's go ahead and tap on Let's Go. Now it's asking us to confirm our Wi-Fi network. I'm just going to tap Continue because that is correct, and now we actually have to enter in the Wi-Fi password here in this section. So I'm going to go ahead and enter the password really quick, and then I'm going to hit Continue, so that way it can connect to the network. Okay, and after inputting my password and tapping on Continue, we have step 3, which is to activate Roomba. So it says activate Roomba by pressing and holding the home as well as the spot clean buttons, and it actually has pictures for those, until Roomba generates a tone. So it takes about 2 seconds, and then release the buttons, and Roomba will continue to flash its light, so the Wi-Fi indicator light on the actual top of the robot. All right, so we did hear the tone. The light also flashed. It's actually hard to pick up on camera here. Let's go ahead and tap on Continue, and now it's just telling us to actually go to the settings application and connect to the Roomba Wi-Fi network that it's generated, so that way it can set up the Roomba. So I'm going to go ahead and do that really quick and show you guys exactly what I mean. Okay, here inside the Wi-Fi portion of the settings app, we are connected to that Roomba network, and we actually did receive an alert on the robot itself saying that we're now connected and to just return to the application to finish setup. So tapping on the app here, it actually is going to continue onward, and it's saying that it's starting network setup. So it's just going to take a second. We do have a little indicator up at the top saying what it's actually doing right now. So it was sending the Wi-Fi information to the actual robot itself, and it just goes over some of the status lights.
Now online and ready for personalization.
So as you could hear there, it said that the robot is now online and it's ready for personalization. So here we are at pretty much the final setup screen. It says success and that it's now connected and ready for use. We can go ahead and tap on continue there, and we can actually name it if we want. So I'm just going to leave it as Roomba for now. It states its birthday, so when it was actually first set up. Of course, the date today is November 13th, 2015, and then it asks us to input our email address, and our postal code is optional. All right, and after that message, message from the 980 inside of the iRobot home app. It's actually just playing this video now that will walk you through some of the basics of the robot itself. I'm just going to tap on done, and here we go. It's ready to use. So if we wanted to, we could tap on clean, and the robot will start cleaning. It will actually back away from the dock, and as you can see here, it is beginning its cleaning process. Now I'm going to hit clean again to cancel it, and it tells us that Roomba is paused and that we can actually dock it if we want by just tapping on in job, or we can tap resume. So in job will allow us to dock it or return it to the base. As you can see, it's doing that now, so let's go ahead and wait for it. All right, and returning to the application here, let's go over some stuff very briefly. So this button in the bottom right will access the more portion of Roomba, and we can tap on care, and what this does is it tells us when we actually need to clean certain aspects of the robot. So it tells us when the bin is full here, and when we tap into it, we can actually get a step-by-step guide on their website, and it also gives us a little picture there at the top. So let's go ahead and back out there. We can get access to a help section. This is really convenient if you have any sort of questions about your robot. We can tap into history, and it tells us the jobs that it's already performed. So it looks like it has performed 12 jobs total, but inside of the recent job, all we have is the one that we actually just started there. So I'm sure that's testing actually from the factory. And then we have the settings portion. So this is just some additional settings that we can change for the robot itself. Let's go ahead and back out. One thing that's really cool is that we can tap on locate Roomba, and it will actually play a sound unless it's connected to the base here. So you can see it tells us that it is charging on its home base. Let's go ahead and pull it out, and I'm going to press on locate Roomba so you guys can hear what I'm talking about. And now we can press locate Roomba inside of the application. And as you can hear, it is playing a Marco Polo sound, so that way we can find it if for whatever reason it gets stuck during its cleaning process and you can't find it. All right, I'm pressing the button to stop that. Let's go over the other sections inside of the app here. So in the middle, we just have the scheduling, so we can actually set this inside of the app. We don't have to set it on the robot itself like we've had to on previous models. So if we want it on for Sunday, we just have to toggle it on and then set the time. So if we want it to run at 3 a.m., it's as easy as that. So let's go ahead and back out there, and we have one final area. So we can set that carpet boost, which is what I was talking about previously, where it can detect whether it's on hardwood or carpet and boost the power automatically, or we can set it so it always uses the highest performance, or even in eco mode, which is definitely quieter and it uses less power. We also do have the option to enable 2 cleaning passes to finish the job when the bin is full, or to enable or disable edge cleaning, which is where it will follow edges when it detects them. So guys, that's everything I wanted to talk about in today's video related to the iRobot Roomba 980. And if you guys want a chance to win a brand new 4th gen Apple TV, again, just be sure to rate this video up and navigate to freeappsfast.com inside of Mobile Safari. Once you do, sign up and then download any of the sponsored apps you see in the main section for points, just so long as you do earn them. Then go to the 4th tab down below at the bottom, and you see that referral link. Post it in the comment section of my unboxing of the 4th gen Apple TV. I will have it linked for you guys on your screens now if you're on the desktop version of YouTube. Now, if you haven't used freeappsfast.com before, you may encounter some issues that we're working on fixing, and the service should be fully functional this weekend. So just be sure to check back if you haven't used it before. All right, and if you guys want to be updated more often, such as when I release new videos, whatever they may be, whether they're related to jailbreaking or even the Roomba 980, just be sure to hit that subscribe button down below next to my channel name if you have yet to. Like me on Facebook and follow me on Twitter. And until next time, this is ICU signing out.